Please, 1 minute. Yes, yes, 1 minute, sir. 1 minute.
Sir, can I wait, sir? Please start the webinar, sir. Please start the webinar.
Okay, sir. Please wait, please.
Yeah, please start the webinar.
Okay.
Let me introduce.
Yes. Good afternoon to
Okay.
yes, sir. Good afternoon to all of you. And
Thank you, sir.
today's national webinar organized by Department of Mechanical Engineering, S.V.P
Shall I introduce?
Engineering College, Visakhapatnam, Andhra Pradesh, in collaboration with the Association of Mutual Funds in India. And today's webinar pattern is Mr. Rahul Alvards, Executive Director of Alvards Group. And today's webinar convener Dr. N.C. Anil, Principal of S.V.P Engineering College, Visakhapatnam, Andhra Pradesh, and coordinator of webinar, Mr. R.S. Kiran, Assistant Professor of Department of Mechanical Engineering. And today our eminent speaker is Mr. Suryakant Sharma, sir, and he is a senior consultant of AMFI and ex-DGM of Securities and Exchange Board of India. And so I request Mr. R.S. Kiran, sir, for inauguration of webinar. Please, sir. Mr. R.S. Kiran, sir. Mr. R.S. Kiran, sir, please unmute your audio option, sir. Please, sir. Mr. R.S. Kiran, sir, please unmute your audio option, sir. Suryakant Sharma, sir, sir, please unmute your audio and video option, sir. Please, sir. Okay, thank you, sir. Mr. R.S. Kiran, sir, please, sir, inaugurate the webinar, sir. Please, sir.
Yes, sir. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, please continue, sir. Inaugurate the webinar, sir.
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Sure, sir. Very good. Good afternoon to all the audience present over here on this auspicious occasion. Now, let me introduce myself. I'm R.S. Kiran, Assistant Professor of the Department of Mechanical Engineering from S.V.P Engineering College, which is located in Visakhapatnam, Andhra Pradesh. Now, today's webinar is being organized from our department, and the chief guests today are Dr. N.C. Anil sir and Executive Director S. Rahul Alvardas sir. And it's my great privilege and honor to have everyone to be as a participant for today. And I would like AMFI to commence the webinar, please.
Okay, sir.
Over to you, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. And
thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. And today our keynote speaker, Suryakant Sharma, sir, and the profile of Suryakant Sharma, sir, is a commerce graduate and master's in law with specialization in corporate law. He is also Chartered Associate of Indian Institute of Banking and Finance. Shri Sharma, sir, has over 35 experience in banking and finance and securities market, and has served in a leading financial institution, thereafter in Department of Financial Services, Ministry of Finance, Government of India, and finally in S.V.P. Shri Sharma, sir, joined Securities and Exchange Board of India in 2003 and served there for more than 15 years in different departments of S.V.P. Lastly, in addition to other assignments, he was DGM in charge of Office of Investor Awareness and Education in S.V.P. Northern region for more than 5 years. Shri Sharma, sir, is also a member of working group of NCRT for developing vocational courses on mutual fund for students of 11th and 12th classes. Shri Sharma, sir, also mentor of a few NGO working for financial literacy and investor awareness in the country. Under his supervision, more than 15,000 financial literacy and investor awareness programs were conducted across North India, and he himself has addressed as guest speaker in more than 600 IAPs. After superannuation from S.V.P. in 2019, he had joined Association of Mutual Funds in India and apex body of mutual funds in India as senior consultant for spreading investor awareness amongst citizens. During pandemic since May 2020, Shri Sharma, sir, has interacted with thousands of investors and students through more than 250 webinars in reputed educational and professional institutions, corporates, and startups and other across country. Please, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Sabjar. Thank you, Mr. R.S. Kiran. Thank you, respected principal of the esteemed institution. I am thankful to all participants and all dignitaries who have joined this program. Mr. Kiran, if possible, can you please keep your videos on? At least I would be grateful if 3-4 videos are on, so that I can feel that I am connected to somebody. If all videos are off, you will appreciate that some feeling crept in some time to whom I am talking to.
Dear participants, yes, dear participants, I request 4 to 5 participants, please on your videos, please on your videos, 4 or 5 participants, please. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Respected principal, this program is from Association of Mutual Fund in India, which is an apex body of mutual fund in India. But I want to make it very clear that it is not a program for promotion or advertisement of mutual funds. It is purely an investor awareness program. Basically, the purpose of the program is to sensitize investors and potential investors, your students, about the importance of money, about the strategy for management of their money, and how to create wealth for their prosperity. Respected principal, I will try to make this session as simple as I can. I will not make it is a research oriented, quoting a lot of data, a lot of reports, a lot of other authors. I will try to make it as simple as we are talking in our drawing room, and we are sitting in our drawing room and talking to each other. Thirdly, as this program is for the participants, I will request at least students, if they wish, they kindly have a pen and paper or some notebook with them, so that if they find anything useful or a new idea in my session, they can note it down, which they can explore further through Google and websites. Mr. Prathivi, you will agree with me that nowadays every information is available in Google and websites otherwise. But these programs are just to sensitize them to go deeper into the subject. Further and lastly, I will be very happy if more and more questions come from the participants, because that will be a reflection that the participants have taken interest in it and they have got a lot of doubts or queries, whatever they have. Kindly put their queries or questions in their chat box, or and after my session is over, we will make this session open. Anybody can just raise their hand and ask the question. And Mr. Prathivi, I will try to make it a very interactive session. It will not be a one-way traffic that I speak and you listen and go. I will try to be an interactive session. So Mr. Sabjar, kindly unmute Mr. Prathivi, and I will ask just a very simple question with Prathivi. Prathivi sir, you tell me, what is the 2 main purposes money serve in our life? Of course, money serve all the purposes otherwise.
Exactly, sir. I also think the same, because of most of the people, they spend a lot of time in earning money. Everyone wants to go for that. But the real happiness that comes after acquiring their fortune, they did realize these things. Money does not give them happiness. But you said that for our fortune, for our future scopes, that's we have to all learn new things in this era. So it's my great pleasure to you that I having word with you, sir.
Thank you very much. So I just ask you a very simple question. What are the 2 main purposes of money in our life? What money gives us?
Money,
what do you think?
Without money, we cannot say that we can for the survival of the human life. That's we need money for all these things, because of we all have to in this era that we are living in this scenario. That's if you're not having money, people need not respect you also. I think so. If you have the money, then you can say that's your lifestyle becomes in the good manner, like that, right?
Okay, sir. So what I feel, money gives us 2 basic things in our life. Firstly, money gives us security.
Security, exactly, sir.
And money gives us prosperity. Prosperity, anything can come into prosperity. You can enjoy your life only when you are prosperous. Prosperity simply means you have money when you need it, and reasonable money you have with you. And security, Mr. Prithvi, means that I feel secure that if anything happens to me now, I have good money in my pocket or in my bank account, I can manage that thing. One more, okay. Now, so the money gives us two very important things. Money gives us security and money gives us prosperity. Now, one more question I want to ask you. What are the two main sources of money for the middle class, salary class person like you and me? What are the two main sources? Can you list two main sources of money for us?
Main source for earning the
whatever you look, how we get money. What are the two main sources from where we get money?
Exactly. Everyone wants that thing, on the basis of my views. If you have a knowledge about any field, then you can earn money from if you doesn't have the hair in your head. In that case, if you have the talent in the system, then you can sold a combo to anyone like that. So if you have enough talent about your field, you're technical, if you're in the technical field, then you have a strong technical knowledge about your field, then you can earn. Secondary, about the earning money like that. So
no problem. No problem. No, you will agree with me, and you have rightly pointed out that the main source of money is our income or a salary.
Exactly, sir.
Which we get through our talent, through our passion, through our effort, through our labor.
Right, sir.
So the first and primary source of money for the middle class, salary class person is their salary, is their income.
Exactly, sir.
But my dear participants, Prithvi sir, not only you, but most of the middle class, salary class person don't give credence to the second source of money. Normally we don't give, but that is equally important, sir. And that source of money we will talk more today. And what is that source of money, sir? My money should also earn money for me.
Exactly.
My money should, first I should earn money, of course. But the second and equally important thing is that my money should also earn money for me. Because Mr. Prithvi, you may or may not agree with me. Prosperity will come to the middle class, salary class person not through earning, not only through earning, but more importantly by their money, making money for them. That aspect we generally don't talk about. We talk about job, we talk about service, we talk about promotion, we talk about increment, we talk about getting good job and rather more promotion, all these things. But we hardly talk about how my money can earn money for me. But I feel it is equally important, sir.
Yes, sir.
So now two questions I have posed before you. First question answer was money gives us security and prosperity. And second question answer was the main source of money, of course, is your salary or income. But equally important source of money is that my money should also earn money for me. So on these premises, I will take my session forward.
Right, sir.
So you will agree with me, sir, that every human being wants security first. We first think of security.
Exactly.
And for security, when money gives us security, Prithvi sir, only when we have plenty of money. Because if I have 1 lakh, 2 rupees, 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 5 lakh, 10 lakhs rupees, it will not give me security. Because security comes only when we have plenty of money.
Thank you.
But one day, Mr. Prithvi will definitely have 1 crore rupees, 100 crore rupees in his bank account. Then he will feel secured. Oh, Baba, no problem. Now I have got 100 crore rupees in my bank account. I feel secure. But Prithvi sir, you know it very well. You are smiling, but because we all know very well that 100 crore will not be in our bank account someday. It is a fact of our life, most middle class, salary class life, that we wouldn't be having 100 crore rupees. Then the question arises, how we can have security? Because we don't have plenty of money, and security comes only when we have plenty of money. then how a middle class, salary class person can develop security for himself and for his family? And I personally feel, Professor, security comes first. We first think about security. So for developing security for you and for your family, I will request all young participants like you and even students, they should understand, they should do 3 things in their life as early as they can do. And Mr. Prithvi, if you want to note it down, you can note it down. These are very important things. But again, I repeat, these 3 things will give you security only. They may not contribute to your prosperity, but of course, they will take care of the security aspect of your life. The first thing every earner must have is adequate life insurance cover. Here I have mentioned, Mr. Prithvi, adequate life insurance cover. So first we should understand what is life insurance cover and why we should take it. Mr. Prithvi, you will agree with me that life is pretty uncertain. Today I am talking to you, we are seeing each other, of course, through this platform only. But I am not sure tomorrow what will happen. Nobody is sure.
No, nobody knows this.
Of course, we can live for next 100 years. But even for tomorrow, we are pretty uncertain. And that's uncertainty loom large in our mind all the time. And not only loom large in your mind, sir, it also large in the minds of your family members. What we feel normally, everything is going on today. We are getting salary, enjoying our life. Things are going smoothly. But what happens if I am not available to my family tomorrow? Because of death, what will happen to them? It is a very valid question we should ask ourselves. It's a very valid question. How they will survive? How will they take care of their monthly expenses? How the education of the children will be taken care of? Lot of how family obligations will be taken care of. These are very valid questions we generally ask to ourselves. And yes, we can do it by having an adequate life insurance cover. And the purpose of life insurance cover, Prithvi sir, is to ensure your family that in case I am not available to them tomorrow, at least they will not have financial stress. Of course, emotional problem will be there, social problem will be there, but at least financially they will not be on roads. Otherwise, it will be very tough for them to survive.
Exactly, sir.
From where they will get monthly expenses, money? From where they will get the money for the education of the children? A lot of other things, how they will manage. That is why I request all the young participants like you, kindly take adequate life insurance cover, that in case something happens to us, at least my family will get a reasonable amount which they can deposit or invest somewhere, get some return or income regularly, and they can survive. That is the purpose of life insurance cover. And it is more so important because life is pretty uncertain.
Exactly, sir.
So first we should secure like this only. And I have used here words, sir, adequate life insurance cover. Typically what happens, people do take life insurance cover, but it is token only, 5 lakh, 10 lakh, 20 lakh life insurance cover. That is not going to serve the purpose. Because it has to be a very reasonable amount which my family should get. If they get 10 lakhs, what is the importance of 10 lakhs? What 10 lakh will serve the purpose? That is why I keep telling it should be adequate life insurance cover. And what is the rule of adequate life insurance cover, sir? Kindly note it down. It should be minimum 10 times of your annual income. Minimum 10 times of your annual income. Suppose, Mr. Prithvi, your annual income is 20 lakhs. Then ideally speaking, you should have life insurance cover of not less than 2 crore rupees. 2 crore rupees. In my times, at least only 2 types of life insurance cover was available, money back and endowment. But nowadays, a very good insurance product is available, which are not available at my time. This product name is term insurance, TERM, term insurance. Very good insurance product and a genuine insurance product where a person can have reasonable life insurance cover by paying a very small monthly premium. Suppose your age is between 25 to 30 years. You can have a life insurance cover through term insurance of 1 crore rupees by paying a monthly premium of hardly 500 or 600 rupees, which anybody can afford. But if you go for the money back or endowment, the premium will run into thousands of rupees, which normally people would not be able to afford. So the first request is kindly take adequate life insurance cover, and term insurance is a relatively a genuine insurance product which you can consider. And you go into the details, and after once you are satisfied, take the life insurance cover as early as possible, because Mr. Prithvi, the premium of life insurance cover is directly related to your age. Early you take, lesser will be the premium. And so kindly don't keep it deferring. Arey baba le lenge na, chodo na, next we will take next year. We have started now. No, take it early, because first life is uncertain, and secondly premium will keep increasing. And you can also get income tax deduction under Section 80C for payment of premium, but that is an incidental benefit only. Life insurance cover utility is much more than getting IT deduction under Section 80C. So firstly, kindly take adequate life insurance cover. Your students should also understand it. When they start earning, they should, in the first year itself, they should take adequate life insurance cover. And nowadays, Mr. Prithvi, top-up facility is also available in the insurance, which was not earlier available. Top-up simply means, suppose you say, today you take 1 crore rupees insurance only. But down the line, after 5 years, you feel, Arey baba, ye to thoda kam hai. Because your income has increased, your liability will increase. Then you can top it up by another 1 crore rupees or another 2 crore rupees. So top-up facility nowadays is also available. So firstly, kindly take adequate life insurance cover. Now, second request I want to make you, every individual and every family must have adequate health insurance cover. And normally, Mr. Prithvi, people get confused between life insurance cover and health insurance cover. Why I have taken life insurance cover, why I should take health insurance cover. But my dear participants, health insurance cover and life insurance cover are totally different and serves different purpose in your life. Life insurance cover serves the purpose that in case of my death, my family will get an amount. But in health insurance, in case of medical emergency, I am required to be hospitalized. All hospital expenses will be directly paid by the insurance company to the hospital. You will not be required to pay anything. That is the purpose of health insurance cover. And again, Mr. Prithvi, here you will agree with me that today I am okay. Tomorrow a disease may discover in my body, or I might met with an accident and I am required to be hospitalized. And you will agree with me that unfortunately, governmental health system is not up to mark. So we will be forced to go to the private hospitals. They charge exorbitantly. If you remain there for 10, 12, 15 days, they might raise a bill of more than 10 lakhs. So in case medical emergency arises, or I am required to be forced to the hospitalized, all my hospital expenses are paid by the insurance company to the hospital. I go to the hospital, get the best treatment, come recovered home without paying anything. That is the purpose of health insurance cover. And nowadays, a very good health insurance product is available in the market, Mr. Prithvi. That name is Floater Health Insurance, Floater, Floater Health Insurance Cover. It is also called Umbrella Health Insurance Cover. Because in the Floater Health Insurance Cover, Mr. Prithvi, what happens? When you take health insurance cover, definitely you will include your name, but you can include your spouse name as well. You can include your kids' name as well. And you can even include your parents' name in that policy. So in one singular policy, that is floater policy, all families covered. If anything happens with any member of the family, they can go to the hospital, get the treatment without paying anything. So that is the beauty of floater health insurance cover, that it keeps floating from one member to another, and all members of the family are covered. So kindly take floater health insurance cover for your family. And here again, early you take, lesser will be the premium. Of course, your institution might be giving you some medical facility, but in most of the cases, at least in hospitalization, that is not adequate. That is why I am requesting, if you think you should take independent life insurance cover, because whatever your office is giving, whatever your institution is giving is okay. But additionally, also to cover your family adequately, you should take adequate life insurance cover. So the second thing is take adequate life insurance cover. You want to say something?
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Actually,
Tell me.
sir, actually, you said that's predefined. Few of the government scheme is there. They are providing the life insurance scheme and health insurance scheme like that. Most of the companies or they are also giving the many attractive like that. You can say health insurance policy scheme is there. But at the end, there is only terms and conditions given like that. But whenever you have to claim for that, if I'm just getting found any disease on that, or before applying the insurance policies, I'm some kind of disease we found in my body. In that case, they have to refuse to the policy process and like that. I have no idea about all these things. I just want to learn all these things. That's why I'm asking to you.
You are absolutely right. Because I basically, otherwise it will take minimum minimum half an hour to explain these things.
Exactly.
Because rider clause is there in life insurance cover and health insurance cover. Rider clause is there. So the common rider in the health insurance cover is co-pay. Co-pay simply means companies are very smart. They will simply put under co-pay 80% company will pay, 20% you will pay. So you say it very bluntly, no, I will not accept co-pay. 100% payment will be made by the company to the hospital, insurance company to the hospital. Likewise, lot of other clauses are there. But for that, I will have to take a separate session for insurance that we will take afterward. I was just to sensitize you. You can now explore those things through Google and websites. And you, not only you, all the participants. I'm just sensitizing you. So second thing is kindly take adequate life insurance cover. Thirdly, Mr. Prathi, you are aware that we are passing through a difficult phase in our life, that is Corona. Corona has taught us a lot of lessons. It has changed our life rather completely.
Exactly.
Everything has changed. But Mr. Prathvi, you are very lucky. Your job continued. You continue to get salary from your institutions. But at the same time, you are aware lakhs of people had lost their job. And lakhs of people didn't have any income because their businesses were closed, their professions were closed, and not only for one day, for 2 days, rather for whole year. 2020 was the worst year in our life. So that Corona has still not gone, firstly. Secondly, in future, any virus may also come in. Again, new virus or new disease like that come in. Or any emergency may come in our life unexpected without giving any notice. For that, I will request all the participants kindly develop an emergency fund of around 5 to 7 lakhs. Why I am requesting you, sir, that suppose tomorrow Corona again happens, severity is there, and you lost your job temporarily, or your salary get reduced 50%. A lot of corporate gave only 50% salary, 30% salary. So in case of that stress, at least I am able to manage my family affairs for minimum 1 year. For that purpose, I will request all the participants kindly develop an emergency fund of around 5 to 7 lakhs. Because again, I repeat, this is an emergency fund to take care of emergencies that might happen in our life in future. And Mr. Prathvi, 5 to 7 lakh is not a small amount for all of us, we all know. But we can develop it over a period of time, maybe 3 years, maybe 5 years. But once it is there, we have to make a promise with ourselves, taking our family into confidence that we will never use this emergency fund for any other purpose. Because otherwise temptation will always be there. Mr. Prathvi had 5-7 lakhs rupees as emergency fund. Your family will say, go on vacation, celebrate something. So that temptation will always be there. But no, that promise and commitment we have to do with ourselves that we will use it emergency fund only and only for emergencies only.
Right.
And I am not saying that you keep this emergency fund in a currency form at home in a box or leave it in a bank account. No, you should put this emergency fund into your bank FD. So at least you will get reasonable return. Or in some liquid fund or mutual fund, we will talk afterwards if you know about the mutual funds only. So third thing is develop an emergency fund of around 5 to 7 lakhs. So Mr. Prathi, 3 things I have I've requested to all the participants with regard to security only. First, kindly take adequate life insurance cover. Kindly take adequate health insurance cover for the family. And third, develop an emergency fund of around 5 to 7 lakh. And these 3 things, sir, I again repeat, will not contribute to your prosperity, but they will definitely develop security for your family. And I again repeat, security is more important than prosperity. So kindly first consider these 3 things and then go ahead for prosperity. Now we will talk about the prosperity. And for that, Mr. Prathi, again, sir, I just ask you one question.
Yes, please.
What is the main source of income? Again, we discuss salary is our main source of income. Normally for the middle class, salary class person, salary is the main source of income for most of us. And what we do with the salary? A majority of our salary goes into taking care of our monthly expenses.
Exactly.
Rental, grocery, education, lot of things. A good majority, rather it's 70-80% of our salary goes into taking care of our monthly expenses. But Mr. Prathvi, you know it very well. We Indians have a typical DNA, and that is unique to Indians. At least I am Indian, that is, we are Indian, that is why we are talking about Indians only. Indians have a typical DNA. And what is that, sir? That an Indian, whatever he is earning, he or she will sincerely try to take away some money from their income.
Exactly.
From their income.
Exactly.
Everybody sincerely, even a person who is earning 10,000, he or she will try to take 500 rupees or 700 rupees out of their income, which they will not spend. And the money which we don't spend out of our regular income, what we call it, sir? It is called savings. It is called savings. And we are all savers. We are all saving. But every Indian is trying sincerely, we are savings. And you might be aware, Indians are still one of the best savers in the world. By habit, by DNA, by your blood, by your birth, savings is a part of our life. So we save. So we are savers. But one thing is there, Mr. Prathi, unfortunately, we are savers, but we are casual about savings. Casual in the sense that this month, Mr. Prathi is saving 10,000 a month. Next month, it might be 12,000 a month. Third is it might be 8,000 a month. 4,000, it may be even 0. So we are casual about saving. We are saver, but we are casual about saving. So the first thing I am to request all the participants, including students, they should understand the importance. Kindly identify an amount of saving which you can comfortably save every month. And Mr. Prathi, I am not prescribing anything. You save 20%, you save 40%, nothing like this. What I am saying is, you decide what you can save every month. Suppose you say that your salary is 50,000 and your expenses, monthly expenses are 40,000. Then what you are indirectly saying that you can save 10,000. Then my request is very simple but emphatic. Kindly save this 10,000 upfront. The moment you get salary, take away that amount first. And then whatever remains, you manage your affairs. That discipline and commitment has to be developed, sir. It is very, very, very small thing, very tough thing, but it is not an impossible task. Only thing is developing a habit and commitment to myself. Come what may, I will save this amount. That commitment has to be there. And you will appreciate that everything, what firstly required is commitment and promise.
So exactly, I am very lucky about all these things because of my wife is already saved few amount from my salary already. Is it
great? Great. You have got a very, very lovely and lucky wife. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
So you identify an amount of saving. whatever I am saying is not to you, to all, through you to all the participants, all the participants.
Exactly.
So
This is very important.
kindly identify an amount of saving and then religiously save that amount, come what may. This promise has to be there. As your wife has made a promise, every participant must make a promise that come what may, I will save this amount. This is the first request. Second request, Mr. Prithvi, is kindly keep increasing saving minimum by 10% every year. That is also a promise your wife must take. Because every year we get increased income. You get DA, you get increment, you get allowances, you get promotion. And every year we get some increase in our salary. Am I right? So with the increase in income, we must increase our savings. And ideally, it should be 10% of 10% every year. Suppose this year, Mr. Prithvi, you are saving 10,000, then next year it should be 11,000 a month. And again, I tell you, it is a tough task, but it is not an impossible task. You should sincerely try, and it is possible, I tell you. So second thing about saving is kindly keep increasing the saving minimum 10% every year. And Mr. Prithvi, both these things with regard to saving are the foundation pillars of your prosperity. Kindly mind it. These are, it looks very damn easy. What you are talking, sir? Okay, we will do it. No. These are the fundamental pillars of your prosperity. Kindly identify amount of saving and then keep increasing the amount of saving every year minimum by 10%. Now the next question arises, Mr. Prithvi, what we do with the saving? Your wife must be saving an amount, that is okay. But then what we do with the savings? That is equally important. There are two options available with normally with us. First option is, and which the first option is practice like a fool like me only. What is this? I am religiously saving a particular amount every month. But what nonsensely I am doing, I am taking away that money from bank account and putting at home in currency form every month. And I am happy I am accumulating amount there. Or just leaving that amount in my bank account. My dear participants, it is a gross injustice to yourself, to your family, and to our country, Mr. Prithvi, as a whole. Kindly never, never, never do this. Never keep your savings at home or leave it in your bank account. It is a gross injustice. Why? I will tell you afterwards how it is. Then what is the other option available, sir? Other option is kindly put your savings, number one, acquisition of some assets, value of which will increase in future. We are putting our savings into some assets, value of which will increase in future, and or we are putting our savings into some financial instrument which will give us periodical and regular return in future. And the process of putting our savings into this mode, Mr. Prithvi, what we call it, it is called investment. It is called investment. So my dear friends and my dear participants, saving is the first step and investment is the second step for your prosperity. Kindly mind it very clearly, Mr. Prithvi, prosperity will never come only from savings. You have to invest your savings, only then prosperity will be there. Because you're putting your money into investment mode will earn money for you. My money should earn money for me. I was asking for the second point. So the investment, what investment do? Investment will make my money earn money for me. That is why saving is not only important, but equally important is investment. And saving is the first step and investment is the second step. And we are all doing it. You must be putting your money somewhere. Whoever is earning must be, you are putting in PPF, some EPF, or in bank FD, whatever you are doing. Everybody is doing. Who is saving? Putting their money into. So we are all investors. Yes, it is there. But unfortunately, Mr. Prithvi, I don't know whether you will agree with me or me. But it is a pathetic state of affair for the middle class, salary class person, that most of the middle class, salary class person, despite their sincere efforts in saving and investment, they just remain money accumulators. वो केवल जिंदगी भर पैसा इकट्ठा करते हैं. They just remain money accumulators. They don't become wealth creators. And my dear participants, prosperity will come only through wealth creation. So there are two terms, Mr. Prithvi. One is money accumulation and second is wealth creation. So first we should understand what is the difference between money accumulation and wealth creation. Then we will go ahead. And for that, I will take a very simple example of bank fixed deposit. Why I am taking a bank FD? Because everybody knows about bank FD. Even your students are aware about bank FD. And I kindly permit me to take your name for this example. Suppose Mr. Prithvi has got 1 lakh rupees with him. He goes for a bank FD for 1 year with a good bank. And the present rate of interest is around 6%. Around 6%. So Mr. Prithvi goes for a bank FD of 1 year for an interest of 6%. After 1 year, I meet Mr. Prithvi and just ask him, sir, what happened to your FD? Mr. Prithvi is happy, he is smiling. What he will reply, sir? Normally, I have earned 6,000 rupees as bank interest. And my money has been given back the bank. And I have earned 6,000 rupees as bank interest. And Mr. Prithvi is very happy. When I asked him, Mr. Prithvi, are you right? He said, I am absolutely right. I am right. You can see my passbook. I have got 6,000 rupees as bank interest income. Mr. Prithvi, you are right, but you are not right. You are right that you got 6,000 rupees, but you ignored two very important factors while analyzing return on your investment. And FD is also an investment. So you ignored two very important factors. What these factors are, sir? All participants must understand what I am saying now. First factor, Mr. Prithvi, is inflation. Inflation, Mr. Prithvi, we all talk about inflation day in, day out. Arey baba, महंगाई बढ़ रहा है. We talk about inflation at home, in office, everywhere we talk about inflation. And what is inflation, Mr. Prithvi? Simply speaking, inflation is nothing but increase in the prices of goods, item or services over a period of time. Increase in the prices of goods, item or services over a period of time. So last year, Mr. Prithvi, when you were going for the bank FD of 1 year and you had got 1 lakh rupees, instead of going for bank FD, if you had purchased some items or have availed some services from 1 lakh rupees, Mr. Prithvi, tell me one thing. After 1 year, would you be able to get same item, same services from 1 lakh rupees?
No.
After 1 year, would you be able to do it? No. Because of inflation, prices have increased. Suppose the inflation rate is 5%. What does it mean? It simply means that last year, Mr. Prithvi could have purchased some items at 1 lakh rupees. For the same item and same services, Mr. Prithvi will now need to pay 1,05,000 rupees because inflation has been 5%. Now you see the proposition, sir. You are very happy when you got 6,000, but in reality, out of 6,000, 5,000 has been eaten by the inflation. Am I right, sir?
Exactly, sir.
Got the point?
Yes, sir.
I think participants should also got the point. So inflation eats the return. So we generally don't give credence to such thing. I'm happy with the 6,000 only. But in reality, out of 6,000, 5,000 has been eaten by the inflation. One more thing, Bhagya Lakshmi ma'am, you might not be aware. One more factor is there. And what is that factor, Mr. Prithvi? That is most of the income and return, Government of India takes income tax for tax. Most of us. In the case of bank FD, you might not be aware. You have to include the interest as in your income tax return. and pay income tax as per your slab. And Mr. Prithvi, before 15-20 years, most of people would not be paying interest. Arey Baba, who will come to collect income tax from my side? But now, Mr. Prithvi, you are aware, because of technology, all such information is automatically available with the Government of India. Government of India is aware that is well aware. Income tax department is well aware that Mr. Prithvi had got a 1 lakh FD with such and such bank, and he earned such and such amount. So you can't avoid. So suppose you are in 20% bracket, Mr. Prithvi, then on 6,000 interest income you will need to pay income tax at 20%, which is 1,200 rupees, which you can't avoid now. Now you see the proposition, sir. You were very happy when you got 6,000, but in reality, sir, out of 6,000, 5,000 had been eaten by the inflation, and 1,200 you paid as income tax. Did you get anything in reality, sir?
Nothing.
No, rather 200 rupees has gone out of your pocket. This is the money accumulation only. And most of us are sheer money accumulators. Most of our investments are like this only, where we don't get any real return. 6,000 is your notional return only, Mr. Ravi. And there is no real return. I take this example forward. Suppose, Mr. Prithvi, the rate of interest is 8%. In that scenario, you will get 8,000 as interest income on 1 lakh FD. Again, keeping inflation 5%, out of 8,000, 5,000 would be eaten by the inflation. There still remain 3,000. Out of 3,000, you pay 20% income tax, that is 1,600 of 8,000. But even after that, Mr. Prithvi, there remain 1,400. That 1,400 is your real income. And if you get this real income on your investment, only then you are creating wealth. Kindly mind it. It's very important thing. Otherwise, you are simply money accumulators. So, my dear participants, kindly always see that you earn some real return on your investment. And the formula of real return, Mr. Prithvi, is very important, very simple. If you not note it down, real return equal to notional return, that is 6,000 or 8,000, minus inflation, that is 5,000, minus tax liability, that is 1,200 or 1,600. And we have to earn real return to be prosper. We have to earn real return to be wealth creator. So kindly understand these things very, very seriously. Because normally we don't give importance to such things. Baba, paisa aaya, humne laga diya, whatever we got, we are happy. But it is not like that. You have to earn real return on your investment. Now the question arises, Mr. Prithvi, why we are so? Why most of the middle class, salary class person are sheer money accumulators? Why they are not wealth creators? There must be some reason, because otherwise we are very talented person. We are educated person. But why it is so that most of the middle class, salary class person are sheer money accumulators? Yes, sir, there is a reason. And that reason, Mr. Prithvi, not lies anywhere else. That reason lies in our mind. Because we have Indian middle class, salary class person have got a typical mindset. What is that? Most of us don't want to take any risk. No, Baba, no risk. Don't talk about risk. We want to go for the safe investment. People will say, no, we don't want to take any risk. But my dear friends, my dear participants, understand carefully that investment, most of the investment risk is there. You first have to accept and appreciate that in investment, Mr. Prithvi, risk is there. But typically we don't want to take risk. That is why we are money accumulators. So you understand the balance, where the imbalance is there. We don't want to take risk. That is why we are not wealth creators. I am not saying that you must take risk. What I am saying, Mr. Prithvi, here, that most of the investment risk is there. So first kindly understand that risk is there, and what is risk in investment, Mr. Prithvi? The greatest risk is that I invested some money somewhere and I lost that money. That is the greatest risk, and nobody will like to take risk. Or I invested my money somewhere and my money got reduced. I got nothing, rather no real return, rather my money got reduced. And third risk is, Mr. Prithvi, not getting real return on your investment is also a risk. Because then what for we are saving and investing? If we don't get any real return, then what for we are saving and investing, my dear friends? So kindly accept that risk is there in investment. Now the question arises, and everybody, this question will come in their mind. If risk is there in the investment, Mr. Prithvi, how we can manage your risk and how can minimize your risk? Everybody will then definitely like. Everybody will definitely see if risk is there, but at the same time, everybody would like to manage their risk and minimize their risk. It is very natural. We will sincerely try to minimize your risk. Yes, my dear friends, we can manage your risk and we can minimize your risk. Yes, we can. But at the same time, Mr. Prithvi, you must understand, risk can never be zero in investment. There will always be some degree of risk in it, some degree, high degree, some moderate degree, or some low degree. Except some governmental saving scheme, which there is no risk at all, because government is there as a guarantor. Most of the investment has got risk, but still risk can be managed. How we can manage it? My dear participant, I am giving a very simple formula of managing risk. I am sharing a very simple formula of risk management. Kindly note it down. Very simple formula, Mr. Prithvi. Only 2-word formula. And you might laugh at me because it is a very simple one, what I am talking. But this formula is going to change your life. I can vouch for it. But it will change not just by putting on paper and forgetting it. It will change only when we put this in our mind and keep it in practice. So the formula is very simple. Formula is, do you understand little bit Hindi?
Me all? I think so.
All normally.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Then I first speak in Hindi and then translate into English. In Hindi it says, सोच कर समझ कर निवेश कर. Think, understand and invest. Mr. Prithvi, I have used 2 words. First is think. Second is understand. And third is invest. Invest is the result. Then we can invest. So first word I have used, Mr. Ravi, is think. What we have to think? We have to think 2 things about ourselves. We have to think 2 things about ourselves. Number 1, what is my risk appetite? How much risk I can take? How much risk I can take? And Mr. Prithvi, every individual has got different risk appetite.
Exactly, sir.
Because our income is different, our family structure is different, our family obligations are different, our social structure is different, our born and brought up is different, everything is different. So every individual has got different risk appetite. And one thing comes out of it, Mr. Prithvi, that is very important. Then never follow others when others are investing. This is a typical mistake we all do. What we do, suppose Mr. Prithvi, you are sitting in a room and one of your colleagues come to you and he says,
sir, exactly. This thing happened with me. One of my colleagues is also attending your class. He's also expert. We are working in the same organization, but I just take a small risk factor always. But he take always a big factor. His name is Narayan Singh. I think so. Narayan Singh, are you here? Narayan Singh? I think so. He's here, but not really. Oh, he is a good investor. He is also just taking big risk factor in. He's investing there a lot of money in BSC, CHE exchange, like that stock exchange. And
that is why I am telling you, this blunder we all do, because we follow others. We follow others. Never follow others, because every individual, Mr. Narayan Singh has got a different risk appetite. He can take risk.
Exactly.
You can't take risk.
Yeah, I can't, because of the family circumstances.
Exactly. So kindly understand that our risk appetite is, every individual has got different risk appetite. So never follow others where they are investing. Take your own call. Take your own call according to your risk appetite. One more thing is there, Mr. Prithvi. Our risk appetite keep changing with the age. It is not stagnant for whole life. It is not that whatever today you are having, tomorrow you are in the same. No, it keeps changing with the age. And for them, this to make you understand, I just taking a clue from the active life. Active life, Mr. Prithvi, simply means when I start earning and when I get retired. Normally, it is between 25 years to 60 years. Am I right? Normally people start earning around 25 years and then get retired around 60. So the age between 25 to 60, Mr. Prithvi, is our active life. And I am dividing this active life into 3 phases. First phase is between 25 to 40. And I can make out you are in the first phase only. Second phase is between 40 to 55. And third phase is beyond 55. In the first phase, Mr. Prithvi, what I want to tell all of you, young people like you, this is the golden period of your life. Kindly make best use of it. This is the golden period of your life, Mr. Prithvi, and not to Mr. Prithvi, all young people who are below 40. This is the golden period of your life. Kindly make best use of it. And how you can make best use of it? Try to save as much as you can. Because you have started earning, but your liabilities are relatively lesser. Relatively. You might have not got married, but of course you are married, you have just mentioned. But then you don't have kids. Even your kids are there, kids are small. So liabilities are relatively lesser. So in this phase of life, Mr. Prithvi, you should save as much as you can. Number one thing. Secondly, you should invest your saving in a product which will give you maximum real return. Real return, I have already mentioned what real return is. You should invest your saving into some in some product which will give you maximum real return, and for that you can even take some risk, but it should be calculated. It should not be blind. There is a difference between calculated risk and blind risk. But your focus should be on earning maximum real return on your investment. This should be the focus in your first phase of life, that is 40 to 55. Mr. Narayan, your friend Narayan might be right to some extent, because he is relatively very young, like you. And in this phase of life, you should take risk, but not blind risk. Again, I repeat, calculated risk you take. But your focus should be on maximum real return on your investment. This is the first phase. Now comes second phase, that is between 40 to 55. Mr. Prithvi, in that phase of life, what typically happens? Children are grown up, lot of liabilities are coming. Of course, your income will increase, but so will be the liabilities. So will be the obligations. So in that phase of life, that is between 40 to 55 years, you should continue to focus on getting maximum real return on your investment. But you should also keep an eye on the liquidity aspect of the money. Why, Mr. Prithvi? Because in that phase of life, you will need money at many times, rather huge money. You will be going for purchase of house. You will be going for a lot of things happening in your life. So in that phase of life, you should continue to focus on real return, but also keep an eye on the liquidity. Now comes third phase, Mr. Prithvi, that is beyond 55. Mr. Prithvi, when you enter in that phase of life, your thinking automatically changes. In that phase of life, you will say, no, sir, no risk at all. I can compromise on the risk, on the return aspect, but I can't compromise on the safety aspect of the money which I have accumulated from 25 to 55. So safety of the money becomes paramount in that phase of life. Return becomes secondary, but in the first phase, Mr. Prithvi, returns has to be paramount. So different phases, we have got different risk appetite in our own life. And kindly take your investment decision according to your phase age and according to your risk appetite. Now, second thing we have to think about ourselves is, first is risk appetite. Second is time horizon of investment. Mr. Prithvi, that is equally important, and normally we don't give credence to this aspect of the investment. Time horizon of investment. What is this simply, Mr. Ravi? We will need money in our life only in one go or at different times. We will need it at different times. At different horizon, at different times we will need money. So time horizon of investment is very, very important. And for that, Mr. Ravi, I will request one very small thing to you, and not to you, but all young people like you who are already earning and below 40. Can you do one thing, for very small thing for me, sir?
Exactly. Yes, sir.
Next Sunday, kindly give me 1 hour.
Sure.
Next Sunday, kindly give me 1 hour, and rest assured, I am not coming to your home. Don't worry.
Sir, it's welcome to you, sir, and very nice pleasure to you having word with you, sir. It's my great pleasure to having word with you, sir.
Don't worry.
Yes.
What I am saying is, kindly spare 1 hour next Sunday. Request your all family members to be with you at home. Take one paper, one notebook, and one pencil. On the paper, make 3 columns. First column, second column, and third column. In the first column, you just kindly note down, after discussing with your family, what are the milestones in your life. And generally, Mr. Prathi, what are the common milestones in our life for middle class, salary class person? I just give you an idea. The first milestone is marriage. Marriage is the first milestone in our life, normally. Then birth of the children, second milestone, celebration. Third milestone might be admission of the children in a good public school. Fourth milestone might be purchase of a house for the family. Naturally, every family would like to have their own house. Then fifth milestone might be purchase of the 4-wheeler if we have not taken so far. Then one more milestone is there nowadays, Mr. Prithvi, which was not in, at least in our times. What is the milestone now? Vacation. Every family wants to go on vacation. You are in Andhra, but definitely your family will push you to go to the Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Karnataka, Gujarat, Rajasthan. And what? Why on India only? Beyond country also. So vacation has also become an important milestone for all the middle class, salary class person. Then after some years, your children are grown up. Then what comes next, and very important thing, is higher education and professional education of children. That is very important milestone in our life. And after their education is over, what you will think of? Marriage of the children. That comes the second after. And last milestone, Mr. Prithvi, that is very, very important, is your retirement life. That is also very important milestone, because in retirement life, normally what happens, we don't get salary or income which we used to get right from in our active life. So in retirement life, Mr. Prithvi, how we survive normally? We accumulate huge amount, invest that amount, or put that amount in some bank or some other instrument, get regular income, and we survive. That is a normal course for the retirement life. So in the first column, Mr. Prithvi, kindly note down, and I give you liberty. Whatever you want, you can add out, which I might have left out. In the first column, kindly note down the milestone in your life. You are already married, forget about the marriage then. Whatever remains there. In the first column, put the milestone. In second column, against each milestone, kindly put the period when it is likely to happen. Again, it is idea only. Suppose somebody say that I am not married, but I am likely to be married after 2 years. Sanuji, namaskar. Then definitely you put it 2 years against marriage. Likewise, 2 year, 3.5 year, 4 year, 5 year, 10 year, 15 year, 20 year, 25 year, 30. Start putting the period. And again, Mr. Prithvi, it is an idea only. It is an estimate only, not precise. In the third column, against each milestone, very important thing now I am requesting you, start putting the money you will need for each milestone. Suppose somebody say that I am not married, but I am likely to be married after 5 years, after 2 years. Of course, all marriage expenses will be taken care of by parents, but honeymoon package I have to purchase. At least honeymoon package I will need to pay. So put it 5 lakhs against marriage. But Mr. Prithvi, you know it very well. Today, suppose somebody is saying that he will get married after 2 years and he will purchase honeymoon package for 5 lakhs. After 2 years, when he actually goes for honeymoon package, it will not cost him 5 lakhs. Because of inflation, it might be 5.50 lakhs, or it will increase rather. So put the money, not 5 lakhs, but rather 5.50 lakhs. So kindly start putting the money against each milestone. And 2 important milestones, Mr. Prithvi, I want to discuss with all the participants. Higher education and professional education of children, Mr. Prithvi, is one of the most important milestones in our life. I think you agree with me. Suppose today a good MBA degree, how much it costs around from a good institution, Mr. Prithvi? Around 20 lakhs.
20 lakhs.
Hostel, everything, you take it broadly 20 lakhs today. But when your children will go for higher education after 25 years, can you imagine how much money you will need for each children? Mr. Prithvi, because of inflation, it will be not less than 2 crore rupees per child. Even when you have 2 child, how much you will need? 4 crore rupees only for the higher education of the children. Then marriage of the children, not less than 1 crore rupees at that time. Then last one is retirement plan. And Pratitipati ma'am, retirement plan is very important, and unfortunately, Mr. Prithvi, you don't have pension. Now you have to survive on your accumulation of money. How much money you should accumulate for the retirement? Have you ever think of it, sir? I am just sharing a very broad estimate. Suppose, Mr. Prithvi, you are 30 today, and you are going to retire after 30 years. And you say that today you are able to manage your monthly expenses of around 30,000, at around 30,000. What you are saying that today you can manage your affairs with 30,000. Mr. Prithvi, can you tell me when you become 60 after 30 years, how much money you will need every month for the same level of comfort? Have you ever imagined, sir? It will be not less than 2 lakh rupees per month. Because of inflation, your cost of living, which is 30 today, Mr. Prithvi, will increase to 2 lakh rupees per month after 30 years. Or after 30 years. So how much money you will need for 1 year at 60? Mr. Prithvi, around 25 lakhs. 2 lakhs multiplied by 12, around 25 lakhs. So how much money you should accumulate for your retirement plan? Have you ever thought of how much money you will need for your retirement plan? My dear friends, as a thumb rule, it should be minimum 20 times of your annual expenses. It should be minimum 20 times of your expenses. So suppose your expenses are 25 lakhs at the age of 60. Then minimum you should have retirement corpus of not less than 5 crore rupees. Because 5 crore rupees will give you return of around 5%, that will be 25 lakhs. So for retirement life only, Mr. Ravi, you will need not less than 5 crore rupees for your retirement corpus. Now I give you a very small exercise. Kindly make the total of the last column. And Mr. Prithvi, you might get scary because the last column total says that a normal middle class, salary class person who is 30 today, Mr. Prithvi, will need around 10 to 12 crore rupees for their milestone only. I am excluding the monthly expenses from 30 to 60, my dear friend. So normally you will need 10 to 12 crore rupees for your milestones only. And tell me, Mr. Prithvi, from where that will come? if you are very lucky going to KBC show, Babita Bachchan winning 7 crore rupees, okay, then how many of us will win, sir? Maybe 1 in 20 lakhs, maybe 1 in 50 lakhs. What about others like you and me? We have to work hard. We have to save that amount and we have to invest that amount to earn a good return on it. And now I can tell you, my dear friends, Mr. Prithvi, we all can have 10 to 12 crore rupees, provided you start working sincerely right from today. Your wife might be very sincere, but go and discuss with your wife what you have left behind, what you can have not done so far, and what you can do more. And the chart, Mr. Prithvi, which we have just prepared, first column, second column, and third column. Can you tell me, sir, what is this? It is called financial plan. Mr. Prithvi, it is called financial plan. And I request all the participants, those who are already earning, and every family must have their financial plan, Mr. Prithvi. It is a must. Because financial plan will give us a direction. Financial plan will give us a purpose to save and invest and to earn real return. So kindly prepare financial plan. Definitely for every family must have financial plan. And one more very important thing I am sharing, Mr. Prithvi, with all of you. Have you heard about rule of compounding? It is very important thing in investment, my dear friends. Rule of compounding, Mr. Prithvi, is very simple. You have to make a commitment. Again, I am taking a lot of commitments from you. This is one more commitment I want from you. What is that? You have to promise with your taking your wife into confidence that you will never, never, never use the return or income which you get on your investment for your personal purposes, for your vacation, for your celebration, or for any other family obligation. No, never. This promise you have to make it. What you will do, whenever you get income or return on your investment, my dear friend, you will simply club that return with your regular investment and reinvest. This promise you have to make, my dear friends. And my dear Prithvi, rule of compounding is 8th wonder of the world. It is 8th wonder of the world. So kindly understand it. Rule of compounding you have to follow religiously in your investment. And Mr. Prithvi, if you follow it, I can promise you, all of you, that you will be happily surprised after 15-20 years that your return portion has become much greater than your original investment. But Mr. Ravi, it will not happen today. It will not happen tomorrow. It will take 15, 20, 25 years. So kindly religiously follow rule of compounding. Kindly religiously follow rule of compounding on your in your investment. So what we have discussed so far, Mr. Prithvi, I just want to recapitulate. First, we discussed about the security. 3 aspects: life insurance cover, health insurance cover, emergency fund. Then we discussed about the saving, importance of saving, and then increasing the saving every year. Then putting the saving into investment mode. Then earning real return on investment. Then risk management, how to manage risk. Then financial plan. And lastly, we discussed about the rule of compounding. All these things I have taken a lot of your time, but I feel personally that these are the fundamental pillars of your investment success. Kindly understand all these aspects very, very carefully before you start the journey of investment. Now, the second segment of my session, which will be very small, hardly 10-15 minutes, we will discuss where we can invest. Mr. Prithvi, that is very, very important. What are the options available for the middle class, salary class person where we can invest? The first option available for the middle class, salary class person, my dear participant, kindly note it down: governmental saving scheme. Government has also got a lot of saving scheme where, and that option is available to us. And the first and foremost governmental saving scheme, Mr. Prithvi, Kindly note it down. If you have not done, if you have not started this scheme, start it at once. The first scheme is Public Provident Fund, PPF. Very good scheme of the government of India. And I don't know whether Mr. Prithvi has started, had opened an account or not. If you have not opened it, open not only your wife also. There, every middle class, salary class person who is earning must have a PPF account. Very good scheme of the government of India. Minimum deposit you can make in a year is 500 rupees. Maximum is 1.50 lakhs. And ideally, if possible, Mr. Prithvi, you should deposit 1.50 lakhs at the beginning of the financial year, that is in April, to earn interest for the whole year. And if not possible, then whenever you deposit the amount, whenever, kindly try to make it deposit before 5th of the month. Because if you deposit after 5th, Mr. Prithvi, you will not get the interest for that month. So try to deposit before 5th of the month, and if possible, deposit it at the beginning of the financial year. The scheme is for 15 years, but it can be extended for a period of 5 years, 5 years, and 5 years. And Government of India also allows income tax reduction under Section 80C up to 1.50 lakhs. So I will request all the participants kindly open the PPF account if they have not done so far. It is a very good scheme of the Government of India. Then National Savings Certificate, NSC, where we can invest. I don't have time to give details of every scheme, but you can get the details on websites. Then Kisan Vikas Patra, again a Government of India scheme. Then Mr. Prithvi, if you have got a daughters or those participants who have got daughters at their home, and if their age is below 10, then a very beautiful scheme of the Government of India for daughters only there, that is called Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana. Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana, very good scheme of the Government of India. It basically means for the education and marriage of the children. If you maximum 2 accounts you can open in your family if you have got 2 daughters, but it should be opened before 10 years. Whatever you deposit in this account will get highest return. Government of India has promised you that government will give you highest return, and even the present rate is 7.60%, which no other Government of India scheme is giving. So kindly, if you have a daughters at your home, open their account in their name. Then after that, you can invest in governmental securities, Mr. Prithvi. And for that, if you have read in the newspapers, in December, RBI had started a portal. That name is RBI Retail Central. RBI Retail Central. Kindly visit that portal, get the details, get yourself registered, and then regularly invest a small amount in that. After that, RBI also issues bonds, sir. RBI also issues bonds. Tax-free bonds and taxable bonds. You can invest in those bonds as well. Then lastly, Government of India undertakings also get loan from the public by issue of debenture and bonds. And for that, government has make an institution which is called Bharat Bond 1 and Bharat Bond 2. Bharat Bond 1 and Bharat Bond 2, where you can also invest. All these schemes I have just narrated, Mr. Prithvi, are governmental saving scheme. And the uniqueness of these schemes, Mr. Prithvi, is there is no risk. Whatever government promises you, government will give you. When your scheme matures, government will give you money back. So there is no risk. And I personally feel that middle class, salary class person like Mr. Prithvi and all of us, we should invest 15 to 20% of our investment in governmental schemes. Around 15 to 20% of our investment should go into governmental scheme. But then now chapter ends here as far as risk-free investment is concerned. Now, all other options, Mr. Prithvi has got risk, mind it. And the second option available for us for middle class, salary class person is property or real estate where we can invest. You can purchase some property, you can purchase some flat, you can purchase some house, you can purchase some land, whatever it is. So property and is also a real estate vehicle, but there is a risk. How much return you will get? Not certain. Whether you will be able to sell the property when you want it, sir? No, not certain, difficult. It is a illiquid asset. Normally it is called illiquid assets. And then for real estate, Mr. Prithvi, you will need huge amount to invest. You can't invest in property by 5 lakh or 10 lakh. You will need 50 lakhs, 1 crore, 2 crore, only then you can invest. So property is an investment. Is a second option. How much you should invest, I leave it to you. You decide. Then third is gold where we can invest. Unfortunately, I can't see any female participant, but of course there some names are there. But if they can keep their video on, any of the female participants, because what now I am talking to is interested to them. Yeah, ma'am, Surja ma'am. When I start talking about the investment of gold, Mr. Prithvi, my female participants have a different shine on their faces. Arey Baba, gold, no problem at all. Gold is the favorite, rather passionate. They are passionate about the gold. So historically, Mr. Prithvi, middle class, salary class person are investing into gold. But the form has been jewelry or in biscuits. But nowadays, Ritika ma'am, a new gold investment option is available. Kindly note it down. That is digital investment in gold. But there's no need to have physical now. You simply, that facility is also available, which are not available. And Ritika ma'am, for that, kindly note it down. For all the participants, that is a Government of India scheme, Mr. Prithvi. The scheme name is Sovereign Gold Bond Scheme. Sovereign Gold Bond Scheme. Very good scheme of the Government of India. Where you can invest minimum 1 gram gold or maximum 4 kg gold. Maximum limit is 4 kg. Government has promised to give you 2.50% interest on your investment, guaranteed. Plus the appreciation of the gold price. Suppose today you invest at 50,000, 10 gram. And the scheme is for 7 years. And after 7 years, suppose the gold price is 75,000. Mr. Prithvi, you will get the difference between 75 to 50 also. So there are twin benefits. One is 2.5% interest that is guaranteed, plus actual appreciation in the gold. And you will not get gold in physical form. Only a certificate will be issued by the Government of India / RBI that you own this much of gold. And generally what happens, Mr. Prithvi, when Ritika Tiwari ma'am has got gold at his home, she doesn't have sound slip. Thief might have come, they might take away the gold. Or if you keep it in locker, you will need to pay annual charges. But now a very good proposition is available, that is digital gold. So kindly invest in digital form only, so that you are getting a return, plus no botheration of keeping it at home or in locker. So sovereign gold bond scheme is a very good scheme of the Government of India. And you can invest online and offline both. And you can invest through your bank also. Most of the banks are operating this scheme, Mr. Prithvi. And in online, government is also giving some discount, 50 rupees per gram. Government is giving you. So try to invest online, but if not possible, then go to your bank concerned and invest in the gold. And I personally feel, Sonia ma'am, that a normal middle class, salary class person will invest around 5 to 7% of their investment in gold. Because that is a safety valve. Gold investment is basically a safety valve. Normally we don't sell the gold. It is a safety valve only. But now you should avoid purchasing gold into physical form. Lastly, Mr. Prithvi, where we can invest is security market, share bazaar, where we can invest. This is also an option. But when I start talking about the security market, Mrityunjay sir would send message in the chat box. Arey sir, don't talk about security market. Ye satta bazari hai. Pata nahi kya hai ye. What is, how market goes up, how market goes down, how the prices goes up, we don't know. And Dr. Mrityunjay might have invested some of their hard-earned money into security market on the advice of others, and he might have lost some money. So he have said, Toba, Toba, I will never invest in security market. There are people like him, and he's not wrong. He's right, because despite not having knowledge of the market, he invested. My request to all the participants is very clear, my dear Prithvi. Those who don't have knowledge of the market must not invest directly into a security market. Never, never, never. Kindly don't invest your hard-earned money in the security market unless and until you have sound knowledge of the market. So kindly understand it very carefully. But one thing is there, Mr. Prithvi, security market has given highest return as compared to other options. This is also a fact. Security market has given 15% average return during last 35 years. Mr. Prithvi, security market has given 15% average return during last 35 years, which no other product has given. Your governmental scheme has given around 7.5% to 8.5% return. Real estate has given 8 to 8.5% return during last 35 years, average, not regularly. Then gold has given 6.5% to 7.5% return. But security market has given 15% average return. And one more example I want to give, Mr. Prithvi. You might have heard about the name of the Infosys. Have you heard about the name Infosys? Everybody knows, big name now. In 1995, Infosys issued its share for the first time, my dear friend. First time. And nobody would take her because there was a new company at that time. But a small investor invested 10,000 rupees at that time and purchased and got 1,000 shares of 10 rupees. Mr. Prithvi, can you imagine what 10,000 has become today? 10,000 invested in 1995 has become 65 lakhs. That is the beauty and potentiality of security market. But again, I am saying, those who don't have knowledge of the market must not invest directly. There are three segments in security market. One is primary market, other is secondary market, and third one is your indirect way of investing, that is mutual fund. I don't know whether your students are interested into security market, but if they are interested, Mr. Prithvi, we can have a separate technical session for them about the security market, which will be another 2-hour session. We will discuss about the technical aspect of the security market, how security market functions, what are the ingredients, what are the stakeholders, everything we can discuss afterwards. So in security market, we can invest indirectly, that is through mutual fund. And nowadays, I don't know whether, Mr. Prithvi, you have started investing in mutual fund, or you may or may not be having started. But now every middle class person is interested to know about the security market or about the mutual fund. Everybody wants to know about the mutual fund, what mutual fund is. Very simply speaking, mutual fund is nothing but you are giving your savings to the experts. You are not directly investing it. Mr. Prithvi, mind it. You are not directly investing it. You are giving your money to the experts. Why you are giving? Because you don't have knowledge. Why you are giving? Because they have knowledge. They are experts. They live in the market. They have got experience in the market. So they are well equipped or better equipped to take better investment decision as compared to people like you and me. That is why we are giving them our money to invest in the security market and give us back a return. And one more thing, Mr. Prithvi, you should understand. In mutual fund, it is not a social service. It is purely a proposition where I am giving my money, but the understanding is very clear. invest my money in the best available product as per scheme. Try to give me as much return as you can generate. So return is the sole motto. I should get maximum return. So but mutual fund is a beauty is like that, Mr. Prithvi, that mutual fund schemes are available for all categories of investors. In the sense that you told me in the beginning that you don't want to take high risk. You are moderate risk taker, but your friend Narayan is high risk taker. So for both of you, mutual fund schemes are available. Different schemes are available. There are some schemes in the mutual fund which has got high risk, but potentiality of this high reward. But at the same time, there are schemes in the mutual fund, Mr. Prithvi, which has got lesser risk, but reasonable reward. So every category of investor mutual fund schemes are available. And side by side, for time horizon of investment, every time horizon of investment, mutual fund schemes are available. Suppose, Mr. Prithvi, you want to invest for 1 week only, mutual fund schemes are available. But if you want to invest for 3 months, other mutual fund scheme is available. If you want to scheme for 6 months, third scheme is available. If you want to invest for 1 year, other scheme is available. If you want to invest for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, other scheme is available. So for all categories of investors and for all time period, time horizon of investment, mutual fund schemes are available. There are majorly 3 categories of schemes available, Mr. Prithvi, in the mutual fund. One is equity fund, second is debt fund, and third one is hybrid fund. In equity fund, your money is invested into the equity share of the corporates. Understand it very carefully. And when your money is invested into the equity of the shares of corporate, Mr. Prithvi, definitely risk is high because prices of the share keep going up and down every day. So you are taking high risk. So if you are able to take high risk, then equity fund is the relatively better bet for you. In equity fund, risk is higher, but potentiality of getting higher return is there. No guarantee. I again repeat, no guarantee. But potentiality of getting higher return is there, particularly for longer period. But if you are, you just mentioned that you are not able, you are not in the mindset of getting high risk, then other category of mutual fund are available, my dear friends. That is called debt fund, DEBT debt fund. In debt fund, your money is given as a loan to the corporates. Understand the difference. In equity fund, your money is invested into the equity share. But in debt fund, your money is given as a loan to the corporate. So if you don't want to take high risk, if you are satisfied with the reasonable risk, if you are satisfied with the reasonable return, then debt fund is a better proposition for all of you. And there is also third category, that is hybrid fund. In hybrid fund, some of your money will be invested into equity and some of money will go into debt. So you are balancing your risk. You are taking some risk, but at the same time, you are reasonably protecting yourself from high risk. So in hybrid fund, some of money will go to the debt equity fund and some of money will go to the debt fund. And there are 2 plans in mutual fund. One is regular plan and other is direct plan. Direct plan means you directly go on the website of the mutual fund company, AMC, select the scheme, give the documents and other information of yours on the online, and you are invested online. In regular plan, if because of any reason you are not able to go for direct plan, then you can take the help of the mutual fund distributor, duly registered with Amfi of your local area. They will come to you. They will bring the form. They will help you out in filling the form. They will check document from you. They will check from you. Then they will deposit your all documents and application with the mutual fund company, and your investments are made operational. So for For regular plan, return is relatively lesser because some commission or fee will go to the mutual fund distributor. But if you don't want to give any fee or commission to him, then go to the direct plan. In direct plan, return will always be higher as compared to regular plan. So it is up to you to decide. The best way of investment in the mutual fund, Mr. Prithvi, the best way of investment for the mutual fund is through SIP. It is for the middle class, salary class person. SIP means systematic investment plan. It is just like a recurring account where we regularly invest an amount. Minimum amount you can invest in 500 rupees. Maximum amount you can invest, there is no limit. You can invest any amount. But regularly you are investing. And SIP is a magic for the middle class, salary class person, my dear friends. And I just want to share one factual details of a scheme. Of course, I can't name the scheme because that will be unfair on my part, because that will be marketing of that scheme, which at least I feel it is not proper. But facts are there. One equity fund was started by a mutual fund company in 1995. And a person like Dr. Mrityunjay Kumar Mishra ji, who is a very smart investor, started an SIP of 10,000 rupees per month on a particular date. Every month he is investing 10,000 rupees. From 1995 to 2022, every month, without fail, he is investing 10,000 rupees per month through SIP in that scheme. Can you wonder, my dear friends, how much that amount has become today? Again, I repeat, 10,000 rupees regular investment through SIP from 1995 to 2022. It has become 9.57 crores. So you can see the magic. But 2-3 very important things come out of it. Firstly, he invested regularly. Market might have gone up, market might have gone down, market might have crashed, or market might have peaked. But he never stopped his SIP. He continued to invest regularly. The first thing is, never stop your SIP when you are investing for the longer period through SIP. Because market will always go up and down. Today market was down, tomorrow again market might go up. Going up and down is the characteristic of the market. So kindly invest through SIP. Minimum amount of SIP is 500 rupees a month. Minimum is 500 rupees a month. Maximum there is no limit. And nowadays I know a lot of my friends who started more than one SIP. But that is target oriented SIP. One SIP for marriage, one SIP for vacation, one SIP for purchase of house, one SIP for higher education of children after 25 years, other SIP for retirement plan. So you can have more than one SIP. That is target-oriented SIP. And now SIP calculators are available on the websites, which will guide you how much SIP you should start for your target amount. One unique facility is also available in mutual fund, that is called SWP, Systematic Withdrawal Plan. It is opposite of SIP and it is beneficial for the retirement life. When you accumulate a huge amount for your active life from 25 to 60, and when you get retired and when you don't have any regular income, SWP can come handy for you. SWP is Systematic Withdrawal Plan, where you simply withdraw regular amount from your corpus. Suppose you have developed a corpus of 5 crore rupees and now you are retired. You don't have any income. How to survive? SWP will come in your way. You can simply write to your mutual fund company, kindly start transferring 2 lakh rupees per month from my corpus to my bank account on first. They will religiously do it because that is your money only. But the first benefit will be that you will have 2 lakh rupees in your bank account on first, and you will continue to enjoy your life as you were enjoying hitherto. Second is your retirement, your remaining corpus will continue to get return on it. So SWP is a good proposition. I can talk on mutual fund for another 1 hour, but time is a constant. So I will stop it here. Last 2 points I want to make to all the participants, Mr. Prathi or the Mr. Venkata Tejeshwari or and who is the organizer, Mr. Sabjar? Who are the organizer here?
Sir, R.S. Kiran, Mr. R.S. Kiran.
Mr. Kiran, can you come? Can you keep your video on for 5 minutes now? If you are there. Or Mr. Prithvi.
Sir, there is a Dr. K. Ramakrishna, sir, please, and on your video, sir.
Any of the organizing team members or
Yes,
principal, sir, if he is there.
Please unmute your audio option, please.
My dear faculty members and honorable principal, I want to make a special request and a personal request to all of you. There is a menace going on in our country that is called Ponzi scheme and chit fund, where people come to you, they will promise you higher returns.
Sir, Mr. R.S. Kiran, sir, please unmute your audio and video option, sir, please, sir.
They will come to you, they will promise you, doubling your money in 3 and 4 years. A lot of other incentives they will promise, but they will simply vanish one day. My dear friends, these Ponzi scheme, chit fund and committees is a meanness, and kindly avoid that thing. Never invest in such schemes. Of course, I know you will not invest. You are a very all-educated person. But I will make a special request to the organizing team members and the honorable principal. Kindly start a campaign through your students and through your faculty members across your area. Try to educate and make people aware as much as you can. Make people aware that they should never invest their hard-earned money in Ponzi scheme, chit fund and committees, because ultimately they will simply vanish by taking their money. As per a broad survey, 10 lakhs crores of rupees of gullible investors have been lost in such bogus schemes. So kindly make people aware that they should never invest their hard-earned money in some Ponzi scheme, chit fund or committee. If they don't have any idea, they simply put your money into some bank or some post office. At least their money will be safe and they will get reasonable rate. And last thing, Mr. Kiran, I want to request to you and through you to all the participants. Prosperity is your right, my dear friends. समृद्धि हमारा अधिकार है, मृत्युंजय मिश्रा साहब. हम सबका समृद्धि अधिकार है. हम सबको अधिकार है कि हमारे पास इतने पैसे होंगे जिंदगी में अच्छी तरह जिए. Prosperity is your right, my dear friends. We all can be prosper. We might have born into a poor family, but we must not live as a poor and we must not die as a poor. And that is absolutely possible. That is 100% possible, my dear participant, provided we start working right from the day we start earning, about managing our money, about savings, about investments, about real investment, making financial plan, rule of compounding, lot of things. If we follow in our investment journey, I am sure you all will be prosper. So wish you all the best. I will pray Almighty that you all should be praised and you can be. Only precondition is that you should be sincere, proactive and aware about your money, about savings and investment. Thank you very much. God bless you all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yes, Sonia ma'am, you want to say anything?
No, sir.
Could you get anything from my session?
Superb.
Yes, Mr. Sabjar. Mr. Sabjar. Hello. Any question from the participant? They just kindly raise their hand. We will make.
Hello.
Yeah, Mr. Kiran.
Yes. Sir, shall I go with the vote of thanks?
Yeah. Any question
Yeah,
from the
or
participant?
you are already done.
I am
Yeah,
done.
any questions from the participants? If the questions are not there from the participants, then we can go ahead to submit the vote of thanks. And it gives me immense pleasure and honor to provide this vote of thanks on this platform today. And I, R.S. Kiran, on behalf of S.V.P Engineering College Department of Mechanical Engineering, really thank AMFI for collaborating with us in this August presence of all the participants. Almost we have got somewhere around 392 participants. Am I correct, sir?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was really a successful presentation, and that was really successful. And thanks to the organizers who had collaborated with us also. And okay, then we'll meet again in the next webinar. Thank you all, and have a nice day to everyone.
Thank you, my dear Mr. Kiran. On my behalf and on behalf of Amfi, I am thankful to all of you for giving me an opportunity. I am also thankful to Mr. Sabjar Ahmed for coordinating this event with you. And a special thank goes to all your organizing team members.
Yeah, you're most welcome, sir.
And top of it to all participants. Thank you very much.
Yes. I'm also really thankful to our principal, sir, Dr. N.C. Anil, sir, and our executive director, Mr. S. Rahul Alvarda, sir. So, and to you also, sir, Surekant, sir. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank
you so much.
Is your principal with us today or not?
Yes, he's there. He's there right now. His name is Dr. N.C. Anil.
Then he can unmute himself, and if you want to give observation about the program.
Yeah. Just now he has gone for a meeting, sir. Just now.
Okay.
Just they are in the meeting.
Okay.
Right
Thank
now,
you very much.
Yeah. Right now I just have come out and I'm speaking along with you, sir.
Thank you very much.
I was there. I was there throughout the presentation. I was there, sir. It was really a wonderful presentation.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. And we'll meet again, sir. We'll meet again in the next webinar. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.